Back on the couch. Week 4. Week 4?
Week 4 is essentially in the books,
Monday
barring
night.
a miracle from Derek Carr and the Raiders here.
Hey, they're driving. Early third quarter. I think this is the first possession. They're in the red zone. First half, though, quite in favor of the Chargers. The Raiders were handled. So it looks like the Chargers will go to 3-1, and the Raiders also to 3-1. We're going to recap Week 4. What episode is this? 15? Gonna get 15s? Surely.
15. Tebow episode, baby. Shout out to Jesus. Shout out to God.
Shouts out.
Shout out to the swamp.
Shouts out to
We
my
got a lot
guy.
of fans in Gainesville.
Shouts out to my guy, JC. Number
we got a lot
one.
of fans that are big fans of the Church of Christ.
Yeah.
So,
No doubt.
drop your favorite Bible verse in the YouTube comments.
Yeah. Drop it in. Hunter Renfrow. Scoring touchdowns,
Raiders are back.
hit sticking people on fake punts. The guy just a real grinder.
Gritty.
Spark plug.
Deceptive speed.
Gym rat.
High motor. First in, last out.
Coach on the field.
All synonyms for white.
He's
He's a white football player.
one of the whitest ones we got out there.
Mm-hmm.
Doing
He's
doing
probably
the
a
best
big
he
fan
can.
of JC.
Also a JC guy.
That's probably why Dabo liked him so
I'm not
much.
gonna look it up. I just know.
That just
I
seems
just know.
like there's almost no
I don't really have-
chance that's not the case.
You brought him up. I don't really have much to add to this. Fuck Dabo.
Yeah, Dabo stinks.
What a
Dude's a fraud.
I hate that.
I'm
dude.
glad they're getting their fucking shit kicked in every week.
I don't want to talk about him though. Just want to say he can,
Dude
he can
makes
fuck off.
everything about himself.
Like I said, we're gonna
Makes
recap
everything
week,
about
oh,
himself. Insufferable.
He's the worst. We're gonna talk about week 4. But I do want to talk about. We're recording this, as I said, Monday Night Football. The wild card games start tomorrow and then on Wednesday.
First time we've talked about baseball on the show.
Talking a little baseball. When we started the podcast, it was the dog days of summer, and no one gave a shit,
Including us.
It's time, including us. But our Cardinals went on a 17-game win streak, and we're so back.
I
World
basically
Championship?
kind of was out on the Cardinals.
They
it was July, and I basically just stopped watching. And then, they went 5 in a row. And then in my head, I'm like, I can't watch anymore. So out of superstition, I stopped watching, and they just kept winning. So I was just checking box scores, not watching any games. But I am so in on this team. This is your standard 2011 magical St. Louis Cardinals baseball team.
About a week out from the game that we went to, we're like, oh, surely. They'd won like 10 in a row. We're like, oh, surely we'll just go. They're like, oh, we'll break the streak. We'll be the unlucky. We went to the game at Wrigley on Friday. That was like 15 or 16 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Still won. They ended up clinching before they even broke the streak. I mean, this is what they do. This is the black magic Cardinals. This is the devil magic. Everyone hates them.
Yeah.
Shitty pitching. It's like almost even better.
You
like
look on paper, this team's just not that good.
Weaver
but
and
they're
Suppan
dominant.
and the boys Lackey. We got them all. We're ready. Jason Mott in the pin.
Yeah. I mean, our hopes basically ride on the back of 58-year-old Adam Wainwright's arm.
Boise been good.
And he's been incredible after the last 2 seasons. Well, I guess last season was okay. 2 seasons ago, I thought,
I'll eat every bit of crow you can serve me.
2 seasons ago, I was like, you got to take him out back like Old Yeller and put him down.
I thought he was
He's
dust.
so done. He's throwing 84 right down the middle. That's just not going to get it done.
He's one
of the best pitchers in baseball.
He's been nothing short of
unbelievable.
incredible. I can't say it enough, and I was so out.
Obviously, this is easy. Like, had he sustained this over a season, he'd be the Cy Young. Like,
He's been
that
great.
good.
He's been great.
Obviously, he hasn't. Obviously, that's not likely. But you know what I'm saying. He's been Cy Young caliber for the last month, maybe 2 months, which is...
My hopes are not quite as high or as you. But as I was saying before we started this, I think this is the perfect draw for them. The Dodgers, you don't want to have a big sample over.
No.
They're the best team by far, in my opinion. They have the pitching. They have the deep lineup. 5 or 7 games is not where you want them. You want them in one game, and even though it is Scherzer, the Cardinals have. I don't know if they have a spell over the Dodgers. What it is, they own them in October over the past 10 years or so. I mean, they beat Kershaw in his prime a couple times. I think they find a way, and I think the one game is what they need, and then it's wide open. I mean, you got the hobbled Braves. You got the Brewers, who they've owned over the past month. and who just lost one of their best relievers, and the Giants, who everyone's still waiting to fold. Like I still don't get it.
They're just good.
They're good. You don't win 106 games and not be good. But I think they're beatable.
Similarly to the Dodgers thing, the Giants own the Cardinals in the postseason. I don't think we've ever beat the Giants in a series in since 2000.
On their run when they went every other year in the early 2010s. I feel like they beat us
every postseason.
They did. One was in the NLCS.
14. They beat us on a walk-off home run in the NLCS.
Yep. And then I think
Travis Ishikawa.
He did.
For all the
trivia buffs out there, all the real ones. Yes, he did. They have owned him for sure. That would be fun. I remember the broadcasters for the Giants saying how they know the mutual respect in the organizations. Just do it the right way. The Cardinals and the Giants.
Yeah, you got to think baseball.
2 of the Titans.
They would be salivating for Dodgers Giants though.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's after Cubs, Cardinals, Red Sox, Yankees. That's the biggest rivalry in baseball.
No doubt. But how about these? I mean, they've got to be.
Yeah, both these wild card matchups are crazy because usually you get like Twins.
Yeah, these are blue bloods.
A's, no. Red Sox, Yankees, one game for your season. Ooh, baby.
And then Cardinals, Dodgers, a step below that. It's just blue bloods across the board. Who do you think? Just snap call on who's going to win the AL wild card game.
I would lean Yankees just because they got Cole going.
Yankees at Boston, right?
They're also. I just would lean with the bookmakers have him running 1/2 favorites, which in a one-game wild card is usually no. He's pitched the last game of the season for them, so it's Eovaldi.
Yeah,
Cole
has not looked good, to be fair. He got rocked.
He had a really hot stretch there. I don't know how he's been lately.
He got rocked in his last start when they really needed a win against. I think it was against Toronto. In a big spot, they lost that game. I don't know. I thought the Yankees finished ahead of them. Why are they playing on the road?
No, they finished tied. I think it's just a head-to-head tiebreaker.
In Boston, I'll lean Boston. I don't know. It's just a total guess.
Game.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Big rivalry. And then we just both hope the Cardinals win. I got a weird feeling. I don't know why. I'm like irrationally confident. I got a weird feeling we win. Maybe I'm just poisoned by.
I think the past obviously poisons that, but also this team was so out for so long that I just have nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah, it is house money.
Like,
no doubt.
I'm not going to be. I mean, obviously, I want them to win, but I'm not going to be crushed. This isn't like your 2004 Cardinals or like your 2000. I don't know, 11, 12, 13 Cardinals.
Yeah, 12, 13 was pretty good.
Your teams when Pujols, where they were really humming 100-win teams where you're expecting to go to the World Series every single year. This is not one of those teams that before the season I thought that, during the season I thought that, really up until like 2 weeks ago, I think it was even in the discussion we could win a World Series.
I still don't think that they're like actually, like if they were playing the Dodgers in a 7-game series, I think it would be big trouble.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, I don't think
baseball's
the pitching. It is weird, man.
It's just, I mean, there's so much luck that goes into baseball,
and they just couldn't be more high. Have they used all in the tank that they had?
I don't know. Maybe we're just really good because that is the other thing. We have a very young team outside of we have
Tyler O'Neill's ascended into a star.
Tyler O'Neill, Harrison Bader, Tommy Edman. Dylan Carlson. These guys are all under,
or as we like to call him, Mickey Mantle.
Yeah,
switch hitter.
Tan Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
Mickey Tantle. I don't know. We'll workshop that.
Sober Mickey. Did he have a drinking problem?
Mickey Mantle had a colossal drinking problem.
Sober Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
Switch hitter.
Big time drinking problem. Yeah, that's enough baseball talk.
Anyone that you like in the AL NL off the bat? We can.
I have not been paying attention to baseball, to be honest with you.
And maybe we'll sprinkle in a little bit on the spread show.
Give out some picks. I haven't been paying enough attention.
Me either, really. I just know every AL team is happy the Blue Jays didn't get in.
Yeah, Blue Jays
they
were hot.
A problem.
Blue Jays
They've got
hot.
a young team.
That lineup is
and
tough
they have some
to contend
pitching.
with.
They were nasty. Their bullpen kind of sucked, but boy. Happy they didn't get in. Well, I'm not, but most teams are. Let's transition. Switch gears a little bit.
Hold on.
What?
Is this our first episode of October?
Yes. Spooky season.
Let me put this out there.
Do it.
Maybe it's a hot take. Maybe it's a bad take. It's my take, so, it's not good or bad.
Are you going to say, like, the most lukewarm take ever, that this is the best month of the year?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm going to say if you're an adult and you're really into Halloween,
grow up.
Give it a fucking rest.
Yeah, I don't.
Give it a fucking rest.
Is that a hot take?
I don't know.
There are
some people that are just
super
so into it.
I don't get it. I'm not a
decorating like skeletons. We're not like big horror movie guys.
No, that's the thing. I'm not like a
spooked type
spooky
of guys.
I'm not into that stuff at all.
Hole in my media consumption. I would like to fill that up. I've talked about this month trying to do that, but
I would not like to fill that up.
All the sports, it's hard. I think I sort of wrote horror movies off at a very young age because I was a little bitch. They don't all suck. So that they suck at a much higher clip than most genres of movies.
They don't all suck.
They don't all suck.
That is well said. Yes.
They suck at an incredibly high clip compared to other genres. Comedies too, though. I mean, it's not that much different.
True.
They're
like almost not even trying to make a good movie.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is you can make the dream with horrors. You can make horror movies for cheaper than pretty much any other genre of movie.
Right.
And everyone's trying to get that Paranormal Activity that they make for $2,000 that makes $1 billion.
Right.
But Halloween,
take
down
up.
The skeletons, stop eating all the candy.
We're looking at you.
Don't dress up. I mean, maybe dress up.
Or do. It's not the worst.
Yeah, whatever. But don't be that into it. Figure it out.
Curb your excitement for this holiday.
Yeah,
it's lame as fuck.
Okay.
I didn't know you were going there. No, we're not going there yet.
Okay.
Today is a very special day. You talked about your media. You're talking about your media consumption. I have an odd taste in media, movies mostly. You're very
cinema.
You're a big uppity. My favorite movie of all time, its 25th anniversary is today. We're talking about that Tom Hanks classic, That Thing You Do.
Do 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 do.
Now, I made you watch this. What did you rank all your movies? What did you rank this movie?
So I haven't watched it probably 2 years ago, a year and a half ago.
Right.
I mean, I gave it like pretty lukewarm, fine score.
Because you're a sheep.
Maybe. I would be interested to watch it again. I think since then I've come around more to like very palatable, like
you watch
standard
your
movie. Like no, not in a bad way at all. Like very just very not trying to sound disrespectful here because I'm not trying to disrespect this movie because it's a fine movie.
It's great.
Like movies that aren't super artsy, saying something.
Yeah, sorry.
Not that it doesn't say anything either, but movies that aren't like
written and directed by Tom Hanks. Yeah, sorry Tom Hanks wasn't Oscar baiting.
Movies that aren't Oscar bait movies. There was a point in my life where all those movies were shit if you're not making like bleeding heart cinema. Right. It fucking sucks. And I would imagine I would give it a higher score if I saw it now.
It is a smile. It is a smile from beginning to end. It is fantastic.
It's pretty delightful.
It has one of my favorite songs of all time. That Thing You Do, the title of the movie, is the title of the song, the main song of the movie. It also has other very good songs. For those that don't know, it is about a band in the mid-1960s that is like a garage band that ends up picking up a new member of the band, and it kind of like skyrockets them into like a summer-long superstardom where they go across the country performing this hit that they have. Tom Hanks written and directed. He is in the movie. He's their manager, and it's just delightful. I love it. Liv Tyler's in it. Tom Everett Scott's in it. Not that anyone will know who he is because he's really only in that. It's just fantastic. I would be interested what it has like on rating sites if you want to effort that maybe.
Let me produce this thing up a little bit. Let me get you some numbers.
Just for those that haven't seen it, give it a chance. It is really, it's pretty funny. There's a lot of good comedic moments in it. Great music, great actors. It's a good story. Good little story of a little small time band that makes it big.
So the Metascore, which is basically a conglomeration, of all the major sort of sites, is a 71
out of
100.
Okay.
Which is right about what I would give it. Like, it's solid, really fine, nothing groundbreaking to it. If it's your favorite movie, that's totally understandable. I'd assume there's a lot of nostalgia probably impacting that decision for that to be your favorite movie.
No doubt. Yeah, it's one of my mom's favorite movies, and we watched it a ton when I was young, and it for sure plays into it, no doubt. But it also, objectively now, incredible though. Any, you got any? Give me a Rotten Tomato number.
The Rotten Tomato number was I think, pretty high. Let me see here.
Rightfully so. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, give it a shot. I'm not even sure where to find it. I found it on a...
critic score 93. Audience score 78. I'm surprised that the critic score is higher. I need to watch this again.
You do, because
it another watch.
Rules.
Yeah, I do remember all the musicals, like the, they did the sort of Ed Sullivan Show style live TV music performance. I remember that scene was very cool and very well done.
Very good. They do like a, like it was in the 60s, so people, although they were big, no one really knew, and they did this like introducing them to America on like this nationwide broadcast, and they do a cool live performance, and it shows like a behind the scenes like production view of it too, of them like introducing the band members. It's really cool. Give it a shot.
Yeah, one of Tom Hanks's 2 directorial efforts.
Is pretty unique. He actually learned today, as I was watching and looking up stuff for this 25th anniversary thing, he actually wrote some of the songs.
Really?
Yeah, he wrote a couple of the songs, which I thought was cool. Yeah, very few. He must not have liked the directing, although he did right after this like skyrocket into like superstardom.
This is what year? 96?
96, yep.
96.
He did Private Ryan, he did Forrest Gump, he did Philadelphia.
Would that not have been before? Let's see here.
I don't know for sure.
I would imagine.
Give me the time.
Before someone would give him, the reins to a movie. I don't really know what the budget of this movie was. Probably should look that up.
I think it made 25 or 30 million. I don't know what the budget was though.
Let's see here. 96. So 95 he's in Toy Story. So he's Forrest Gump's 94. So he's already
okay, he did Forrest Gump already.
Sleepless in Seattle's 93, League of Their Own's 92. So he's already pretty big.
A League of Their Own, another one, fantastic. What was right after it? I think
Philadelphia's 93.
At the time,
then
huge.
Saving Private Ryan's 98. You've Got Mail, Toy Story 2, Green Mile.
I was thinking of You Got
Castaway
Mail, not Sleepless in
2000. So it's literally smack dab right in the middle of him at his peak.
Why it gets lost in the scrum.
Yeah, of all the Tom Hanks movies out there, and he's not a star in this movie either. He's in the movie, but he's like their sort of sleazy scumbag agent, which is interesting to watch.
Sleazy is aggressive.
But I mean,
watch it again. Not a sleaze.
He doesn't do some nefarious stuff.
No.
Why he wants them to record their songs in Spanish and shit like that? Does that not classify as like?
No, it didn't come across like that. No.
Oh, I thought I remember him being kind of like a
shifty
character.
No, not really. I guess you can watch. You can make your own opinion on it, I guess, if you watch it again.
Anyway, he's not like your down the middle America's sweetheart Torperole, which is basically everything else he's ever played. Like I can't really think where he really plays anything that would even resemble an antagonist in any of these movies.
True.
So it's a little bit of a different role for him. Also playing more of like a like a tertiary character. It's kind of interesting to see him in that spot where he's not.
And he crushes in it too, of course. He's Tom fucking Hanks.
One of the best actors we have. I think if I remember correctly, Raiders coming back.
Not so fast.
14-21.
Darren Waller's mossed the shit out of whoever that was. Was that Asante Samuel Jr.? Yikes.
Fuck yeah. I feel like I remember the leading man just didn't do it for me.
I can see that.
He was just a little hollow, a little stiff.
I could see that. I've always thought, like, man, I'm surprised he wasn't like a little bit bigger or do a little bit more. But I could see why he didn't, I suppose.
I'm just trying to think.
And I could see why he could have that impression. He didn't. So the character that he plays doesn't. He is the main character of the movie, but he kind of has to play this like So he's a drummer, and he wears sunglasses at some point. He's like super incredibly cool guy, good looking guy, but he has to act like he's not in a way, like he doesn't know it.
Yeah, he's kind of your standard like unassuming like aw shucks Midwestern guy who doesn't understand his talent.
Yeah, Erie, Pennsylvania. He kind of has to act like he doesn't know how cool and handsome and great at the drums he is. Which is I could see how he gave up that vibe.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of other actors around that time that if they had been in this role, I don't really know off the top of my head. Like obviously you think of like I don't know.
Oh man, I wouldn't.
I don't know.
I mean, obviously, I'm very, very partial to the movie, but I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, I get that.
I think he's great in it. I'm trying to decide if someone listening to this does watch it. I'm trying to decide. Just watch like the theatrical release because there's stuff online that adds like half an hour to the movie with a bunch of scenes that were cut. Did you know that Tom Hanks is? I won't even say it. Never mind. It was from the scene that got cut. I did want to bring up to you though. Who is or what's your movie that's kind of deep in the weeds that people don't really know about, or someone like in this where Hanks, it's kind of buried down the chart a bit of his like top, like wouldn't be in a top 5 for most people. Do you have any? Because I
really don't know. I made a list of
because he is
like where does this stack up in terms of famous actors taking their foray into directing?
Okay,
because it's kind of an interesting list. Because I couldn't really I don't know. You asked me that before, and I don't know. It's hard to quantify who knows what movie or how.
He's one of the best actors of all time. Correct? He's one of the best actors of this generation.
Ability, like success at the box office, like any measurable. He's one of the best to ever do it.
I would guess that less than 50% of the people even know about this movie.
Yeah, it's not even close to in the top 10, 15.
Like never even heard of it.
And I mean, it's one because he's not the star of the movie,
right? It's weird that he directed it and just like didn't do it again. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know the story behind why he didn't go on to direct anything else.
Yeah. Go ahead and hit me with some directorial debuts.
This isn't a debut. I can't remember which movie was this guy's debut. I think it was. But a guy who I think doesn't get enough credit for how huge he is as a director at this point and how much impact he has on movies.
I think I know what you're going to say.
That people don't really
I think I know what you're going to say.
Think about in that discussion, Jon Favreau.
That wasn't who I was going to say, but yeah, he's
doing Iron Man, he's doing Spider-Man, he's doing Mandalorian, he did The Lion King, he did Chef, he did
Chef, yeah. True.
But yeah, a guy who's super impactful and usually has sort of a distinct style in movies like that, which is kind of hard to do in like a Marvel movie. But like, you got to think, without Jon Favreau making that first Iron Man movie, like who even knows where we're at with this whole Marvel deal?
Yeah, definitely.
Just thinking about sort of the imprint that he's had on this era of filmmaking is pretty impressive.
So I think a factor of that, this just popped in my mind. I think a factor of that could be is why he's not as regarded in that, because he kind of is in like a weird limbo in the middle. Like he has like would you classify it as a mediocre acting resume? It's like an okay acting resume.
Yeah, he's not he's a character actor. He's not a leading man.
Right. He's kind of in that middle. It's like, he directs a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's a director much more than he acts.
Right, and he's kind of he's making that push.
And I think another thing about it is like, well, one, people who watch a lot of Marvel movies aren't necessarily that in tune to who's even directing the movies. Typically, they just like, just gonna watch the Marvel movies, whatever. And there's not necessarily like a super distinct stylistic difference intentionally by Marvel in those movies.
They have they have an algorithm there.
Yeah, you're supposed to sort of throw it between the lines.
Right.
Pitch it in the strike zone sort of deal. But yeah, I think
he doesn't get enough credit, and
Johnny
I wonder
Fabs,
if that's why. That was a good one. That's a good one.
Impact on the biz.
I thought you were going to say Jordan Peele.
Oh yeah, no, Jordan Peele's.
He was kind of like,
he's formed into one of the best horror directors.
He was like
to ever do it.
The sketch funny goofball guy, and now it's like, oh wait, kind of like the same deal. It was like, oh, he directs, like smashes,
colossal hits. Everything he touches is
he's making kind of a
gold.
Similar transition. I thought that's where you're gonna go, but
no, I didn't even have him on here. But that's a good one. Like him at this point, I almost don't even. Him, I've totally gone the other way. Like I don't even think of him as an actor at this point at all, really.
Yeah.
And not that he was really a big movie actor anyway. He kind of Jordan Peele.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. He was like Key and Peele.
Yeah, he was
sketches.
Key and Peele to. Just
Yeah, he did sketches with.
Give these creative, talented people money to do good shit.
Could work out.
maybe it works out sometimes. Just a few to run through. We don't want to make this too long.
Right. We will get to football probably. We got in 25 minutes. The people will,
people love movie talk.
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde, Booksmart. That was her directorial debut.
Smash.
Fantastic. One of the better comedies the last 10 years probably.
Yeah, it was good.
Lovely film. Love that movie.
Good one.
Speaking of movies from a similar era, a movie that maybe you've never seen, but I'd imagine a lot of people listening, watching to this, who grew up in the 1990s, watched Matilda. Do you know who directed Matilda?
I don't know who directed that, but that movie is amazing.
Danny DeVito directed Matilda.
No way.
Yeah. He plays the antagonist, and he also directed it. Danny DeVito. I don't know if that's his directorial debut, but that's... I think the only credit I could find.
Way.
But Danny DeVito.
I love that movie. I watched that so much when I was a kid.
Yeah,
oh, man.
It is great.
It's a
great movie. It really is.
And you're in that when I was a kid, like, dude, do I have powers?
Yeah.
Do I have powers like this girl?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Like, wait a minute. Can I make shit float with my mind?
Yeah, it is so delightful.
It is delightful is a great way to put it.
Joy.
Love that movie. I had no clue. Because,
he's the bad guy. I don't really remember what his character... What's his character's deal? I don't really remember.
I hope we're thinking of we're not talking about a remake of some kind of. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, the bad guy, quote unquote. I thought it was the aunt of Miss Honey or whatever. Isn't it?
I don't remember.
That big.
Don't.
No. It's her dad. He plays her dad.
Yeah.
He plays her dad, who's also kind of like an asshole and like.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't like. Yeah,
he's not kind of. He's a huge asshole.
Yes,
it's her dad.
I knew I wasn't remembering that incorrectly.
Yeah, he's a scumbag like car like.
Yes.
Is like a dealership and a car body shop.
Upset about his own failures in life. And takes him out on his
scumbag in that. I didn't know he directed that. Great pull.
Dan DeVito.
Love that movie.
Ben Stiller. Ooh, here's a movie that's probably falls into the category that first question you asked, The Cable Guy, Jim Carrey. Certainly not thought about as one of Jim Carrey's best movies.
There you go.
But it's right there in that run of like Dumb and Dumber,
The Mask,
and Ace Ventura, when he just blew up. It's right in there, and it's like kind of weird and dark. It's very different, but I like it a lot. One of my favorite Jim Carrey movies.
Perfect
Ben Stiller,
example.
good job.
Perfect example. What was his? Is that the Ben Stiller movie?
Yeah, Ben Stiller directed that.
Really?
He also directed Zoolander, which he starred in, which is a very stupid movie, but I enjoyed it. Very dumb, which is the whole point. But yeah. Recently got Krasinski with Quiet Place.
I'm interested in that. I'm interested to see where that goes because he might do a similar turn where he's not. Because I kind of still think of him as like a.
Most people just still think of him as the Office guy.
Yeah, I mean, he went buff Jim for a couple of these like Navy SEAL roles, and I kind of still think of him in that. But he's making the turn, and killing it.
Yeah.
Anything else besides those two? Quiet Place?
No, that's
it so far.
The first Quiet Place was his debut. Probably one of the greatest examples of this ever. Sylvester Stallone directed the Rocky movies, which is
right.
Nailed it. Good job.
Not bad.
Good job, Sly.
Not bad.
1 for 1. Best pick. I think it won. For sure got nominated for Best Picture. I think it won.
Did you?
Pretty sure.
All of them?
I
didn't know that.
Let's see. For sure.
You wrote another one. I just looked over. You did the A Star Is Born. Bradley Cooper.
Cooper. Yeah.
Another guy who's making the. Didn't he do a couple of things? I forgot he directed A Star Is Born.
No, that was his first feature.
But has he done stuff since?
I don't think so. I mean, you got to think that didn't come out that long ago.
Yeah, probably like 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Oh, no. Stallone directed Rocky 2. He did not direct. He wrote the first Rocky. Did not direct it. He wrote it. I think he wrote the second one too. I could be wrong about that, but
we're learning things.
But he did direct the second one for sure. That makes sense. Yeah, it's a little bit worse movie, so maybe maybe not the best example. Clint Eastwood basically directs every movie he's ever been in.
What was his first one? He did. He does like a lot of the same. To be honest, like he did like The Mule or whatever.
Yeah, this is supposed to be his last movie I think it's in theaters now, called Cry Macho. I'll go see it, maybe.
But yeah, he's done a lot of...
Pretty good. Orson Welles, I don't even know if people consider him a director, if people even care about Orson Welles. But,
I love the stories about Clint Eastwood on set. Just one shot, one take guy. He's like, we got it. Mm-hmm. We got it. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. He's a cowboy, baby.
Yeah, he's a gunslinger. Cowboy. He's the Brett Favre of directors.
Yeah, you gotta love Clint. It's like America's old racist grandpa.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of problematic, but,
we love him still. He's the good guy.
Yeah, you're the best. Orson Welles, his first movie, starred in and directed Citizen Kane, so...
There you go. There's the movie talk.
Cinema!
Hit us up on Twitter with your best in the weeds movie that didn't get enough love from either just a movie you like or an actor that's just buried down there.
Your favorite underrated movie.
Their hit list.
Drop it in the comments. Drop it on. DM us on Instagram. Maybe we'll read some out. Maybe we'll read some out if you.
We'd love to get all our just growing fan base involved in this. We'd love to get the people involved. Yeah. We do it for the people.
I also just,
I'm curious.
I like hearing people's opinions about movies.
No doubt.
It's fun to talk about. So we're going to recap the slate from this past week, and then at the end, we're going to rank the divisions in the NFL as they currently stand. I would say we have
the quarter poll here, kind of, with the new game. It's not exactly.
We're about exactly a month into the season.
We've got a good sample here of where we can start making...
Start moving the chess pieces around.
We can start making
how we think this puzzle's
forming our opinions on these teams. And all I'll say is, for a lot of these teams, pretty much every team, you're never as good and you're never as bad as it looks the previous week. The NFL is...
The teams are all good.
Unless you're Houston. They just are truly a train wreck.
They're all good players.
Truly a train wreck. Let's start on...
Let's start Thursday night.
Yeah, let's start Thursday.
Bengals get it done. Jaguars blow the game.
Quickly,
kind of.
Any care to comment on Urban Meyer?
No, I was going to get to it. I was doing a whole thing.
I'm sorry. Do your whole thing.
So, the Bengals, Joe Burrow, he's been hyped up as, clutch, nuts on the table, drive you down at the end of the game, and he kind of showed it in this game.
Yeah.
Game-winning drive against the Jags. It was actually a pretty good game. It was actually not as poorly played as everyone thought it was going to be.
Awful first half for the Bengals, and they responded pretty well.
They responded. It ended up being a pretty good game. Jacksonville showed some life, as they did the previous week. So, Jacksonville, they'll probably end up with 3-4 wins, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Lawrence looked a little bit more comfortable. They're moving in the right direction. So they're in Cincinnati. They're in Ohio. They get the loss. And Urban decides, look, Ohio State, I want to feel like the big man on campus again. Everyone loves me here. I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna go to the old OSU game this weekend. And after the OSU game, Urban went out and tried to have a little fun.
Urban's doing Urban.
Urban's
bye,
doing Urban
it's
shit.
The mini bye. We gotta enjoy. We got a free weekend.
He was seen at a establishment, I assume, I don't know for a fact, in Columbus, Ohio, some young co-ed women who were not his wife. I assume they don't have pictures on the crazy little coffee table with the million frames on there. I don't think any of those women are featured on the coffee table. But, Urban just wanted to feel something. The other thing, he looked really, really drunk. You can't...
It doesn't count. I was drunk.
Doesn't count. He was really, really drunk.
Babe.
Boy, there was no one home. Some of those pictures.
Man.
He
was dead behind those eyes, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, not so fast
Henry
here.
Ruggs. God
Not so fast here. The Chargers are going to blow this.
Wow. Chargers are going to charge her.
But, yeah.
Wow, what a throw.
Urban,
Other thing, quick on this game. This is a Raiders home game in L.A. right now.
Oh, yeah. They don't have a home.
No Chargers fans.
No, there's no Chargers fans anywhere. There's some still in maybe San Diego, but even then, anywhere they go, the Raiders.
This is rough. And also, Raiders used to play in L.A. at one point in time.
They travel well, too. Anywhere they
go.
Give Urban a break.
Look, he's just trying to blow off some steam.
He's getting his ass kicked every week.
That video of him, that girl was grinding on his shit. He looked like he was struggling. He's like, fuck me. I can't hold up.
I could tell.
I'm too old and frail for this.
I don't know about resisting it, but I feel like he was not Like, it could have been worse, is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
he had his arm, like, down. If you look at the video, his right arm, like, down in front of his, like, crotch area where she's, like, grinding on him on this stool. It could have been worse.
Look,
it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
It's not good.
It's not good.
Any married person in that situation,
100%.
not good.
It's bad.
Don't do that. But obviously, it's relatively harmless in the grand scheme of things. Kind of shitty on Urban Myers, but like, what do you expect?
All I'm saying,
giant millionaire football coach
is we see a like 8 second clip. She could have came up right at that moment and was like, "Go, come on, Urban," and started dancing on him, and he could have been like, "Hey, I'll take a picture." That's all I'm saying.
The other piece of evidence.
He's a piece of shit.
I don't know. I don't know the context of this, but another blonde young girl took an Instagram story and said, "Who is this guy? He won't stop flirting with me."
That's true. That is.
I don't know if that might have been a bit. That might have been her knowing who he was as a joke.
Yeah.
That's the thing with all this shit. There's no context to it.
Right.
I don't give a shit. I'm going to make fun of that guy.
Listen, he's a scumbag, all right? All I'm saying is we don't for sure know the whole story of how scummy it was, but it's just not a good look.
No. But just an all-time relatable move. Blow off some steam.
Yeah, man.
Get pissed drunk after you lose.
NFL's tough.
Just wants to. It's like whenever you graduate from college and you got a real job for like a year and a half, you're like, fuck, I'm being beat down by the world. I'm gonna go back to college and I'm gonna get.
I think homecoming's coming
drunk.
up. Let's get wasted.
Go back to homecoming.
Let's get
drunk at a house party and wake up on someone's couch that I don't know.
Yeah.
So Urban's just going through it like the rest of us. He's trying to.
I just hope he's okay.
Yeah. He looks like he's hurting. Or maybe he's living his best life. I don't know.
It looked like he didn't feel a thing in those pictures.
And then the fact that he immediately had to come out and be like,
he's
guys, I'm sorry. I should have never done that.
I was at a party and they wanted me to dance. And
he's like, I shouldn't have put myself in that situation. It's like, dude, you're 60 years old.
Yeah,
what
man.
are you talking about? He's like, I shouldn't have put myself in that situation. People want to get me on the dance. It's like, you're as a grown-ass man as it gets. Like, I don't want you to say sorry. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
you did it.
Whatever,
you
man.
Fucked up. Don't care. Whatever.
Yeah,
so let's talk about some actual football.
Yeah, tough look.
Your Rams, they stink.
Yeah, we're terrible. I thought maybe
they did get pumped.
I thought maybe
they really did.
They did. No, Arizona looked great. The Rams were,
no jokes. They got handled.
Yeah,
on their home field.
Yep, no doubt. Just your. Oh, he missed it.
Oh, he missed the field goal.
Carlson just missed a field goal. 10 minutes left. They're still down one score. No doubt. Got handled without a doubt. The classic letdown spot. It felt last week against Tampa that they let it rip. They were on an all-time high. And classic letdown spot the next week. Didn't come out with the same sort of energy. I follow the beat reporters, a little hand in the dirt by me, getting
under your fangs,
getting into the nitty gritty. They were saying, like, in the stadium amongst the team, like the vibe, the energy was way low.
Mm-hmm.
It was like they said like there was other games going on, like a MLS game and like a baseball, like a Dodger game, and like I don't know that was the excuse that they used maybe why it was, but like really like it just the whole stadium and the team just felt low energy, came out flat. And got railroaded. I mean, Arizona's good though. I mean,
Arizona's seems to be legit. They seem like the
Kyler Murray is a nightmare to cover. What a nightmare that guy is.
That dude's the MVP right now. If the season ends today, it's not even close.
No doubt.
It's not even close. He's playing incredible. I don't really know what you do with him. He doesn't make bad decisions. He's got a rocket arm. He's hyper accurate.
Make you miss in a phone booth.
I mean,
it's almost impossible to sack the little
Lamar's, toss up for the best runner he's incredible. Anything else on the Rams? I didn't really have much.
Really. I think we're fine.
Cardinals look great.
Yeah, Cardinals look great. I think we're fine. Mostly healthy, so that's good. I think, move on next week. We'll be good. Thursday night, or short turnaround.
Yeah. Trey Lance a Hall of Famer already, or?
Some are saying. The way he drove that ball to the sideline to that wide open receiver, truly just some of the great quarterbacking you'll see in the modern era.
Yeah, not many guys with a broken play like that with no one within 65 yards of the guy can get it to their man for the touchdown.
Yeah. I don't know. He was
jokes aside, he looked pretty good. I mean, compared to what we've seen from these other rookie quarterbacks in their debuts,
True.
by far the best debut of any of these guys.
Even thrown in at halftime, not even like a prep week to know you have the gig. Showed the willingness.
Shanahan's got to be asking for any reason to put him in. His running.
I don't know. I've heard some quotes recently like, oh, man, maybe he's just saying the right things. Maybe just.
You got to think. I mean, I get this is like a big take from everyone in football. It's like, this running offense, you got a running quarterback. No one's going to be able to stop it.
Colin Kaepernick, but he can
he's
throw.
He's just got a better arm.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Jimmy's been good enough to win, so whatever.
Yeah. He showed a willingness to run.
In a weird
spot. Was uneven with the passing. He had a lot of incompletions, but he flashed the big plays, the good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think he's just way better. I don't know.
The Jets not going to go 0-17.
I'd like you to apologize.
For what?
I'd like you to say a quick apology to the Jets and to Zach Wilson.
Me?
I thought he played pretty well.
You over here we're big pro Jets, though.
I bet I picked them against the spread. I said that they could win. You hate Zach Wilson. Don't put that on me.
I do. He looked fine. He looked pretty good. This is the best game of his career by far.
Say, Zach, I'm sorry you played well.
Zach, you played fine. You're good enough to win against a team that I think we're seeing the Titans might just stink.
And you're sorry. Say that too.
I'm not sorry. We'll see. A lot of guys have one good game. We had a lot of
honestly, he wasn't
a lot of career
great.
left.
He wasn't. He was fine. He was good. He made some good throws.
He made some throws that popped, some throws that made it move a little bit.
Yeah.
Not confident Zach Wilson's going to be racking up Super Bowl rings or playoff wins
Tough
anytime
to do that.
soon.
Tough to do that. That's a high bar.
When you get picked 2, that's the bar. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what we expect.
Yeah.
I think this says much more about the Titans than it does about the Jets. I mean, it's panic mode right now for the Titans.
They lost Julio and they lost A.J. Brown. Their offense looks anemic. They gave Derrick Henry like 100 carries. He did what he could. Yeah, and they have no defense. It's a bad recipe. I don't know what to say. It's not good.
I will say this. We'll get to this when we do the rankings. This has got big NFC East from last year vibes, this division. None of these teams in this division are good.
Thinking the Titans might...
I mean, you could win 8 and get into the playoffs.
Thinking the Titans might make it with a 8-9 record?
Yeah, it's certainly on the table. So, don't give up yet, Titans fans. You stink, but it might be good enough to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't really have any other big... things to
Panthers,
note.
Dallas. I think we have to take Dallas pretty seriously at this point. I mean, I don't know how you can impress more. I think we have to take Dallas.
Dallas is certainly in the contender discussion.
Boy, that finding Trayvon Diggs and as they lost Byron Jones in their secondary, finding him to replace some of those guys has been gigantic.
The defense is for real. It appears.
Looks pretty good.
More than good enough to win.
They're going to get guys back. They're going to get better. They're going to get DeMarcus Lawrence at some point. Yeah, I think they're for real. I think Dak's one of the best quarterbacks going. I think they're for real. Yeah, better than I thought they would be. McCarthy, despite the dunce that is Mike McCarthy, Super Bowl champion though. Mike McCarthy. They're playing great. They look great. Hard to argue with anything they've done so far. Panthers missing some guys. You could tell. I think they'll be fine. Still love them. My Panthers. Meow.
Yeah. Meow. Got to get that in.
Yeah. I don't have much to say about. Do you want go ahead? Do you want to say some more about that?
No, not about that game.
I didn't. One of the biggest spots where I was wrong on the spread show, I picked the Dolphins. Yikes! They just didn't.
Bad news.
I don't have really much to even say about it.
That offense is not going to be able to get it done.
Pretty wrong about Brissett just didn't do it. Didn't get it done. Mostly wrong about that game. Big time rumblings about the Deshaun Watson move there.
They need something because this team, as currently constructed, ain't going to get it done. They just don't have the firepower to contend with these modern NFL offenses, I don't think.
Yeah, we were clamoring to have Matt Nagy fired last week. He did give up play calling duties. They won.
Against the Lions.
Hey, winning's a win. Winning's winning, baby.
David Montgomery's probably going to be out for a while, it looks like.
That didn't look good. Damien Williams has got this, dude.
Damien Williams. Williams. Doesn't he have like some stupid nickname for himself, like Playoff Damien or something?
No, Playoff Lenny was the Fournette.
Maybe that's what it is. I could have swore he had a thing when he was on the Chiefs. I don't know.
That's possible.
Maybe
he was
not.
on the Chiefs for a minute. Yeah. Fields looked pretty good. Darnell Mooney looking a little bit better, my guy.
Man.
Darnell Mooney. Just
seeing a couple of those
more
throws that he drove to the sideline. It's just like, how are we going back
Robinson
to this?
didn't do much, but you can tell
he
that
caught
it's just,
one ball that was a beautiful throw to the sideline.
It's just
Andy
up.
Dalton just can't make that throw. Just can't do it.
Yeah, their
he
throws
drove
he
it
makes.
over the safety, 35 yards to the sideline across the field on the money.
You got to think he's over there. Just
he's like, I can't do that.
Yeah,
every play
reminds me of
that. Can't do that.
Reminds me of we'll bring this full circle to A League of Their Own. More Tom Hanks. I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Who can?
Mm-hmm.
He's just over there watching this kid just absolutely hammer balls to the sideline, making all the throws. Got to be demoralizing. I mean, it's over.
He had a great run, Andy. That's the thing.
What an idiot. Again, you had another chance. You won. He won a game. He looked great. When Andy's healthy, he's our quarterback. Just stop, dude. Just you just can't get out of your own way.
Why?
Just stop it. Please.
It's funny.
It's a bit. He's got to be a joke.
Yeah, I think he's trying to Costanza himself, I think.
Oh,
He's at the Costanza mode. He's got the fucking World Series trophies tied to the back of his car, and
that's a big boy drive there for the Chargers.
Riding them around the fucking parking lot.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
He's going to get promoted to GM probably or something. I don't know.
Oh, man.
McCaskey will sell the team to him probably by the end of this. I don't know what's going on.
What an idiot this guy is.
I don't know what's going on. It's a colossal yikes from me, dog.
Anyway, any other games you want to talk about in the early? We had a pretty good late slate.
No, good games, but nothing that I think I learned any.
Panic time for the New Orleans Saints. They got beat by the other New York team.
Yeah, I don't even know what's panic. I think my expectations were pretty tempered on them going into the season. I think they're, about a game over 500 type of team.
Yeah, I saw they have. I think it was 20 yards, plays of 20 yards or more. They're dead last in the NFL by like double of like the Bears have like 10 and they have like 5.
That's not good.
They're just so dink and dunk.
Think getting rid of Drew Brees would have helped that.
Exactly. You think Camaro, you'd get him in. I don't know. They just
don't
have a lot of.
Just super scared to call any plays with Jameis back there pulling the trigger.
Probably.
Maybe rightfully so. I don't know. You
got to think most of those came in the Green Bay game. I mean, they haven't done anything in like 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, they ugly offense there. Maybe Jameis isn't the MVP. Did we overreact?
I think maybe we overreacted saying Jameis Winston was going to win the MVP.
I don't know, Jim.
Quick, Bills Chiefs next week. Let's go.
Hot. We'll talk to that after we talk Sunday night. I do want to bring up just to reiterate real quick.
Sunday night. Obviously, we got to talk about that.
Just to reiterate real quick, Ben Roethlisberger, bury him. Couldn't be more dead.
Would you rather have Davis Mills or Ben Roethlisberger right now?
Davis fucking Mills.
Eesh.
I don't know if I'm serious about that, which is concerning.
No, it's for sure a question. It is for sure a debate.
He can't play.
He can't throw it more than 5 yards.
I mean,
he cannot throw the ball more than 5 yards. It's unbelievable. The amount of times where it was like 3rd and 7, 4th and 5, and he threw it short of the fucking sticks.
Behind the line of scrimmage. Disgusting.
I mean,
truly, the guy's dust. Bury him in a coffin in the ground. He's done.
The dude is an absolute corpse. I feel so bad for whoever's calling the plays. It's like, what do you want me to call? The quarterback can't throw it more than 10
Half
yards.
the time he just
what do we call?
He kind of just like turtles up and like Eli Manning self-sacks himself.
Yeah,
just like, just crumbles. He just can't even move.
I mean, it's so much like Peyton is last year. It's just like, dude, you got nothing left. You got absolutely zero left in the tank. Kind of like Breeze last year, but it's
worse.
It is worse. It is worse. Objectively worse. It's so goddamn bad. Because on top of that, he's also only throwing short and making bad decisions, throwing the ball to the other team.
Yeah.
Like he's always been a gunslinger. Now he's a gunslinger with no arm. Bad combo.
Oh, my God. He's a fucking gunslinger with a pellet gun.
Yeah, he's a gunslinger shooting a fucking Red Ryder BB gun out there.
I just wanted to bring that up. He couldn't be more dead.
Dude stinks. Sunday night, the main attraction, the biggest regular season game of any of our lifetimes. It's never going to be a bigger one.
Never.
Ever in the history of...
Even, like, hypothetical stuff. Like, it would, like, Jordan coming back to the Bulls to face... But Phil Jackson would have to be there. But it's you said it's different. That game could mean nothing. Probably
it can only happen in football.
Probably would mean nothing because
there's never going to be a dynasty like the Patriots ever again. I mean, maybe if Mahomes racks off a bunch and then he goes back and plays against Andy Reid. But even that, I don't think is going to have this kind of juice.
No,
it's just not going to. I mean, Tom Brady. Tom Brady is an A-list celebrity. Like, will Patrick Mahomes ever be an A-list celebrity? Like, Tom Brady was dating A-list actress models in his prime and in their prime.
Yep.
He was...
And then married one.
And then he married a supermodel. Patrick Mahomes is in Kansas City.
Yeah.
He's one of the best football players I've ever seen in my life. But he's never going to be as famous as Tom Brady. He'll never be as big of a deal.
No.
Also, you got to think the controversy surrounding the Patriots. There's just nothing like this is ever going to happen
and
again.
The departure, how it kind of got a little shaky at the end there with him and Belichick and the trainer and all the stuff that went into that.
You talked me out. God damn it. I knew that this game was going to fucking go like this. I knew it was going to be a fucking close game. I knew down in my plums that this was going to be a close game.
That's true.
I knew it. I just had
I was going to bring that up. You talked me out. Oh, and you talked me into the Ida game. We did it to each other.
Yeah.
We did it to each other.
Whoops.
I was going to bring that up. I'm glad you did.
Whoops.
I talked you into this one, and you talked me into the Ida game, which they just... We don't have to go back to that.
An absolute egg.
Brutal. They lost on the field.
Daniel Jones kind of
looks fine.
Good.
Looks fine. Yeah, I thought the game kind of sucked, though. It was rainy.
It was a rainy, mucky,
mess. Brady didn't throw a touchdown. And I know this because I know everyone cares. I needed him to maybe throw a touchdown for a fantasy result. Didn't happen. Laid an egg. Shit his pants? Shit down his leg?
I'll sidebar. We've talked about I'm the coldest gambler in the history of gambling right now. It's unreal how bad I am right now. And Antonio Brown dropping that touchdown
for the cover.
Boy, that
it was a tough play.
It was, but he had
it. Catchable.
He's one of the best receivers to ever lace him up. He had it in his hands. It was a perfect throw. He dropped it. It's
fact.
He dropped it. He did drop it. Whether it counts as a drop in the stats, whatever, he dropped the ball. The ball hit him in the stomach.
It was catchable.
He didn't catch it.
For certain.
Should have caught it. Should have caught it. Yeah, really tough catch. Should have caught it.
Right.
But yeah, it came down to the last drive. You just knew, the football gods, whatever you believe in, we're gonna fuck this game up to make it a 2-minute drive for Tom Brady.
I was
to win the
absolutely
game.
stunned that ball didn't go through the uprights to give him 50 seconds to drive down the field. Football gods.
Yeah. No.
How does that not happen? Because he kind of did it. He drove down and got a field goal, and then the Patriots did it back. And they kicked a field goal for 56 seconds.
I can't believe they kicked that field goal. 56 in the rain.
Had the leg. I know. I was surprised, too.
I think, based on the way the kick, it was probably the right call. I mean, you got it there plenty.
Hit the upright. I thought it was a pretty bad game. Is it settled? I mean, Brady did win, but, Bill...
What I say, Bill had some shit for him. They were giving him a different look every single play, and you could tell it was kind of fucking him up a little bit.
Moral victory for Bill?
This coaching shit is not easy. Bill Belichick does this shit.
He's good at it.
No one confuses a quarterback quite like Bill Belichick does.
Did he confuse him?
From people who know more about football than I do, they're all saying today that they gave him a lot of looks. They changed up their coverage. They changed up their formations, what they were showing every single play.
I haven't dug into it at all. Yuck.
Oh, no, Derek.
Oh, Derek.
Oh, no. INT.
And that's going to do it, folks.
That's your ball game. And standing guys up, they're putting 4 guys down. Whether you're Tom Brady or not, if you got a different look every single time, it's just very hard to process that and figure out what's going on. So
he threw a lot at him, I guess. I didn't look too much into things like that, but you have to at some point. I know Judon had a good game. Yeah, Judon had a good game, getting after him. Damn, what
Tampa Bay secondary is going to be a fucking problem.
I am concerned with Tampa.
Yeah, their defense is not
good enough.
You got to think they get some guys back. It'll help, maybe. I don't know. Richard Sherman ain't it. I'll tell you that much.
You tweeted about this.
Boy.
That dude was Ben Roethlisberger out there.
I swear to God, when he looked like he was running in sand.
He can't play.
Was so
they were
slow and so dead.
Him. It is so crazy. I've said this multiple times. A lot of people have. It's just the sharp drop off at corner. When it happens, man. You're dead.
Yeah.
You go from hard avoid to pick on.
The thing about him is he was never like a super speedy, athletic guy.
Right.
That was never his deal.
Right.
He was always like big, physical,
and he was never really. I mean, they had the system in Seattle. They played
He's
like
always his own coverage guy. He was never man coverage
right.
guy.
He wasn't like the alpha, like I'll shadow you, lock you up. But he just played. He did his role as good as you could, and
talked a lot of shit.
The Conor McGregor effect. You know him. He was great.
He's on the cover of Madden.
He was a great player, excellent player in his prime. But he talked a gang of shit and got a lot of microphones put in his face.
Not one of the all-time great corners.
No.
Probably a Hall of Famer. I don't know.
You mentioned something like that when we were watching that game. Is he?
Probably. I don't even know. I don't even know what you measure like a Hall of Fame corner.
Me either.
Like, it's hard in football. Like there's like not numbers for anyone that's not an offensive player. I mean, like tackles, I guess.
It's getting better with like all the metrics and shit. But
I don't know. Yeah. I guess he is. I don't really know.
He's a part of like an iconic team type, like an era of a team. Yeah. The Legion of Boom. Like I don't know if does Cam Chancellor get in the hall. Like I don't know if he played long enough.
Early, but God, he was good.
Yeah, he was so fun. He was my favorite player on those teams. He was so sick.
Bobby Wagner. I mean, he's a bona fide Hall of Famer for sure. He's
no doubt.
He's
been doing this.
Linebackers to ever do it.
Been doing it.
Okay. Mac Jones looked great.
Did look pretty good.
Looked competent. Dueled with Brady. Didn't look overmatched. I think we all expected him to be able to live up to the moment. I mean, that's kind of his whole deal is that he's got the mind, he's got the moxie.
He's real old soul, real veteran in a rookie's body.
You're a Bama quarterback. You've been in big moments for.
And he was a 4-year, maybe even 5. I don't know if he redshirted, but he waited his turn.
He waited his turn. Came up clutch. I feel pretty good about the future if I'm a Patriots fan. I don't think this year's going to be the year, but I definitely don't feel bad.
So they're going to have this rookie contract, and they're going to have money, but they kind of – I didn't love how they spin it. I didn't love how they spin it.
The defenses look pretty good, though,
yeah,
and that's what they spent it on.
They brought in both of those tight ends, which I guess they lean on that
One
a
of them
lot.
got a touchdown.
Yeah, they lean on that. I don't know.
They also added
but yeah, they're going to have a chance.
But yeah.
Aguilar and whatever.
Yeah, they're gonna have to figure out the pass catching offensive line situation, but feeling good about them. That's really all I have for week 4. That's about a wrap. The Chargers got it done here.
Yeah, Chargers are gonna finish this
off.
So
I think that is a good transition. This AFC West matchup transitions into ranking some shit. Everyone's favorite segment on the show, rank some shit.
Hey, comment down below. What would you like to see us rank?
What do you want us to rank? We'll rank literally anything.
Literally
I'm a slave to your opinions.
Yeah.
I just want you to tell me I'm doing a good job.
Yeah.
The only reason I do this is for the slight bit of gratification that I get.
Tell me I'm pretty.
Please tell me I'm doing a good job.
We're gonna rank the divisions.
Rank the divisions as they currently stand in the NFL. Let's go from bottom to top.
All right.
I got to imagine we have the same 8th ranked division.
Probably. The one the Jags and Texans are in?
Nfc South.
It's so bad.
By a mile.
Top to bottom, by a mile. There's a definitive gap to
There's
the next.
Not a good team. There's not a good team in the division. It's the only division with 0 good teams by my metrics.
Yeah. I mean, they're okay. Titans and Colts are okay, but when that's your leader in the division.
Would not classify either of those teams as good.
No.
One of them lost to the Jets. The other one has won 1 game this season.
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah, and then the Texans and Jags are 2 of the worst teams in football.
I think that's pretty clear. About any other division you have last, I don't respect your opinion. You're wrong. You're absolutely incorrect.
I'm interested.
Not much to say about the AFC
I'm
South.
interested in. I think there's a clear number 7 too. Who do you have 7?
NFC East.
Same.
Yeah, they have 1 good team and 3 bad teams.
Yeah, the Cowboys do seem to be quite good.
They do have a legit, probably Super Bowl contender team and 3 teams that I don't think will sniff the playoffs.
Boy, Washington's been so disappointing. They did beat the Falcons, but they fucking suck. They've been so disappointing. And then the Eagles and the Giants are underachieving. They're okay at best.
Yeah.
The Eagles are turning into the pumpkin.
They don't have those obviously they don't have those Jags, Texans type of bad teams, but
I think they're clearly ahead. I mean, like I said, there's a big gap, but I think it's easily NFC East. Outside of the Cowboys, it's quite ugly. We could have the exact same order. That'd be interesting. We do 8-7 is the same. Who do you have in 6?
Maybe I'm rethinking my list. Let me think. NFC North.
Okay.
I have the NFC North 6th. Again, I think 3 of the teams in that division are not very good. The Vikings, I guess, are borderline good. The Bears and Lions are not good teams, in my opinion. The Packers, I am cautiously optimistic about the Packers and their success rate going forward. I think they're not a very deep team. I think a few injuries and they are boned, as the kids would say.
Are the kids saying boned?
Kids saying boned a lot. I think.
Are they?
No, I don't think they are.
On the TikToks,
on the
they
talks,
say
talking about getting boned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about getting boned on TikTok. But yeah, again, sort of similar to the NFC East. The Vikings are obviously better than any of those other 3 teams in the NFC East. But who do you have 6th?
I have the AFC East. So I have. Do you have them flip flopped?
Yep.
Okay. So
you have the NFC North 5th then?
Yes, I have them 5th. We have them flip flopped. I think I still have to regard. I do think the Bills are better. The Packers and Bills, I think, will put in like tier 1 of teams still. So, and then I think the Vikings are better than anything that the AFC East has to offer past the Bills. I think the Jets. I mean, you could say the Jets and Lions are a wash, but I think the Lions are slightly better. And then you talk, where the Bears, Dolphins, and Patriots kind of shake out in that. I think it's really close. These two 5-6 is where I had my biggest. Like it could go either way.
My thing was with this. I agree with you that the other 3 teams in the North are better. I think the Bills are arguably the best team in the entire league, so I weighed that a little bit more.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Interesting. I've never seen that. So we're gonna pause. Ooh, and it bounced at the 1. That was nasty. What a punt. So they're 28-14. The Chargers are up, and they, out of the 2-minute warning, line up for a 54-yard field goal, and then snapped it directly to the kicker rather than the holder, and he pooch punted it, and it landed at the 1. Pretty cool. Never seen that before.
Neat.
I wondered why they were kicking it. There was really no reason to. Yeah, cool. Good play. Fun.
Special teams, baby.
Where games are won and lost. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. The Bills,
I think the Bills
agree
are such a fucking wagon.
That are the best. They're the best team.
They're the best team in the AFC in my eyes as it currently stands. So I don't think the Packers are a legitimate threat to really win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And I think the Bills are.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's a tough call. It depends on what you think of the Dolphins. Brissett under center, they're a total nightmare. I mean, it could go either way. But yeah, I hear you. And then with Fields under center, the Bears maybe elevated up a little bit. Maybe I guess that's why I have them flip-flopped. But I think very, very close. So 5-6. At 4, I have the NFC South.
Same.
Are we gonna have the same? We're gonna have the same list.
Yep.
NFC South. Bucks, Panthers, Saints, Falcons. I think much better of the Panthers than most. But
I'm coming around. They've got a very good team. I think they're young. I think Darnold may be playing a little bit over his. I don't know if Darnold will be this. Maybe he'll be this good all year. If he's this good all year,
that's what Joe Brady does, baby. He's a magician.
Yeah, the defense is good, but they're young. Obviously, they already have had some injuries,
defending champ
isn't great.
Obviously, in the division, which
the Buccaneers obviously haven't looked great. They haven't looked like a defending champ, but much like the Patriots of old, much like the Bucs were last year, they kind of round into form.
See you in January.
Around January, February. They're not super worried about these games right now. Tom knows exactly what's going on.
They got to get those guys back in the secondary.
Exactly what buttons are going to be pressed. So, not going to really pass any judgments on the Buccaneers yet. But yeah, I think this division has 3 okay or better teams, which none of these divisions previously do.
Yeah.
The Saints may not even be okay. The Saints are okay.
They're
Saints
okay.
are a fine team. Obviously, the Falcons are a fucking disaster.
I'm in the camp of I think the Panthers are above average. I think they're better.
Yeah, I think the Panthers are borderline between okay and good, and then obviously
the big separator in this. I think the Panthers are better than all the teams in 5 and 6 outside of Packers and Bills. I think they're better than the Vikings, the Bears, the Dolphins, Patriots.
I would agree. Yeah,
and then the Saints are in that conversation with those teams. So I think they're clearly division's clearly above.
I agree.
The rest, and then the Falcons aren't like the worst team of all time. They're like pretty bad, bottom 10, but could be worse as your last team. Who do you have at 3?
AFC North. We're on the same list.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. So we'll talk AFC North. This division has 4 teams that they have no bad teams.
One of them is 1 and 3.
Yeah, they have no abysmally bad teams. Maybe the Steelers will be abysmally bad.
They could be, yeah.
Just on paper, they have enough good players.
They're a quarterback away from being a good team.
Seriously, they seriously are. I mean, they've got so much talent on both sides of the ball, and they just don't have the signal caller to get it done. But the Bengals are much improved. The Bengals are a young team that looks pretty solid through the first 4 weeks.
They're 3-1. I haven't been blown away by them, but they're winning close games.
Yeah,
they haven't been blown away, but
it's a step in the right direction for the Bengals, who have been an absolute laughingstock for a decade plus.
Yep, no doubt. And then
the Ravens, one of the better teams of this era of football. I mean, they're, just a perennial 11, 12, 10-win team.
Great regular season team.
Every season. And then the Browns, who I think are a legitimate chance to win the Super Bowl. I mean, one of the deepest teams in the entire league.
Yeah, I think the...
Little quick thing. Baker looked pretty bad this week. He
did he?
Very good.
Who did they played Minnesota? It was a low-scoring game.
Yeah, he did
very few possessions
in that game. He missed a lot of throws.
Yeah.
Missed a lot of throws. So, yeah, AFC North 3, I assume. We have the AFC West second.
Yep.
AFC West second. Again, all 4 teams are good. The Broncos, maybe
they played some bad teams.
A real team and they got smoked. Maybe the Broncos aren't good.
Hand up. You picked the Ravens. I picked the Broncos. I was wrong. To be fair, Teddy went out in mid-game. Bridgewater lost their quarterback. Drew Lock came in and it was over. He's just, not an NFL quarterback.
Vegas, I want the option to buy quarterback insurance whenever I place bets.
Think about it.
I'll give you a little bit extra odds if it means that I get my money back if the quarterback goes out. Because
you were done.
That's not what I bet on.
Dead.
I didn't bet on Drew Lock. I certainly didn't. I certainly did not live bet on Drew Lock.
That's interesting. Ravens. In blackjack, they'll offer you insurance for
Vegas, little idea.
For the dealer having blackjack.
You're getting a little juice. You're winning too.
Well, try. I think they're fine. They're probably.
Well, they could be even more fine.
Take more from me.
Take more of my money. Fuck, I don't give a shit.
So why for you are the Steelers is what hold back the AFC North from jumping into those, or why do you have them over?
I think they and the Bengals. I think the 4th best team. I think the Broncos are better than the Bengals. The Broncos are, by my estimation, the 4th best team in that division, and I would say they're better than the Bengals. And then I think the Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders are all legitimate playoff caliber teams.
Yeah,
the Chiefs are obviously
I guess
Super Bowl caliber team, whereas
I think the Chargers might be too.
Yeah.
So I guess probably the better question is both West divisions are going to be at the top. Why is the NFC West ahead of the AFC West? It's just that
I think
the Broncos.
I think again the Seahawks I would slightly favor over the Broncos.
Yeah, just the depth,
the offense.
the
preseason
we're talking the lowest win total was 8.5. I mean it's been the best division for the past 2 or 3 years.
San Francisco or Seattle? Which team is better?
Seattle just beat them on the road. I picked San Francisco. I thought they were better. They did sub out their quarterback midway. Full game of Trey Lance. I don't know. I keep waiting for this Seattle team to just crumble, and they just won't let it happen. Russ won't let it happen.
He's too good.
Yeah, he's just too good. He's fucking sick. I guess Seattle. I don't know. Right now, Seattle, they just beat them.
So, again, both those teams I think are much better than the Broncos. The Broncos are a nice team. They're a fine team. They're a competitive team. They just don't have the juice to really compete with these higher level teams once it gets down to it. I don't think they just don't have the horses.
Yep. And then we saw, the Rams, we obviously think are Super Bowl contenders, and
the Cardinals are arguably the best team in the NFL right now.
Just kick their ass, yeah.
The Cardinals and the Bills are the two best teams in the league as it currently stands right now based on performance.
Yeah, I think top 3 teams, whether you think that's the 49ers or the Seahawks, are pretty standard. Rams, Chiefs, Chargers, Cardinals, in any of those orders. 1, 2 is pretty close. And then you get into Raiders and Seahawks, and then 49ers. Yeah, 49ers are just way better than the Broncos.
I don't know about way better, but certainly better.
Yes, I think definitively better. Way better is probably aggressive. Yeah. Weird that it seems like this is pretty simple, huh? I do think also, now that Trey Lance is in, the NFC West also, what a surprise, do they have the best quarterbacks of any of the divisions?
Let's see here. AFC North, no. NFC South, no. AFC East, certainly not. NFC North, yeah, probably.
You could talk about, Roethlisberger's the worst quarterback in the league, or they would be in contention maybe. Baker, Lamar, Joe Burrow.
But no, I don't even think they'd be in contention. I would much rather have Stafford. Stafford and Wilson is just...
Kyler Murray.
Stafford, Wilson, Kyler Murray. There's just no better.
And then if you're Trey Lance or Garoppolo, either or, it's weird if you. Maybe it's not weird. Top to bottom, you go 1 to 8. It's like the quarterbacks just get worse as you go down the list.
Yeah, that is true.
What a surprise.
Herbert, Mahomes, and Carr also pretty good.
Yeah, and then Teddy. We love him. Teddy covers.
Teddy's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. I would say yes.
Probably.
Yes. Pretty close. I would say
pretty
yes.
close. Spider-Man meme probably.
Yeah, pretty close.
Pretty close. But yeah. So I guess that division is actually pretty close. Mahomes is the best quarterback, but maybe like Kyler and Stafford is a little bit better than Carr. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, and then it just gets worse as you go down. Saints, Falcons, yeah. Titans, Colts, Texans, Jags.
Not a lot of good quarterback play.
No.
Ryan Tannehill, top 10 quarterback? No.
Yeah.
I think I put him in my top 10 before the season started.
I did not, yeah.
Whoops.
He's that's a big yikes.
Whoops.
I put this Stallion.
He's a good quarterback.
Put this Stallion in my top 10. Justin Herbert. I don't care if he hasn't done it. He's shown me enough, all right?
Dude's got a fucking cane.
Remember when he said he sucked?
Yeah, I just said I didn't like his face.
I
never watched him play.
You thought
I never watched him play a game. I was like, dude's got a bad face. Dude doesn't have a Super Bowl winning face.
Does he?
I don't know. We'll see.
What's wrong with his face?
I don't know. Well, he used to be like more pimply and
he was
pale
20,
kind of
19, 20 years old. He looks like an alpha right now.
Yeah, the hair. He didn't have the long hair either. He had kind of weird hair. Remember that weird like buzz sort of deal?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that was awful.
It was like a summer deal. He was like it was a camp cut.
That was as bad as you'll ever see it.
Maybe
future of the league.
Maybe we'll do this one day, and we'll do like a round or so. After Patrick Mahomes is off the board, who's your second pick?
I was just thinking this today. We should do both like 10 picks, all the players in the NFL.
Let's do it.
Make a team.
We'll do that. Stay tuned, folks.
We're not drafting for 10 separate teams. We both have our own team. Does that make sense? So we're not going to say Mahomes would go, then Herbert would go, then Lamar would go, then we're making our own teams.
It'd be quarterbacks, right? Is he the second? Spoiler. Is he the second pick making a franchise? Justin Herbert. You got Lawrence. I'll take Herbert over Lawrence. I don't.
Oh yeah, I would for sure take Herbert over Lawrence at this stage.
Over Kyler Murray.
Ooh.
He's the other one in that conversation. I
think I'd have to lean Kyler. The running is so hard to contend with.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I really don't think that. Obviously Herbert's got a cannon for an arm, but I don't think the throwing is really much of a difference between the two of them. Yeah, I don't really think there's a lot that Herbert can do throwing the ball that Kyler can't.
All right, stay tuned for that. We'll draft our teams. From maybe we'll just put together a whole fucking roster. I don't know how long that would take, but
22 spots. That's a lot. That's getting pretty deep.
What kind of that does it. That does it for me. Do you got anything else?
No.
Preseason basketball started. What kind of basketball content we got coming up?
I don't know. I need to watch some preseason and get some irrational hot takes going on some of these guys. Don't say I'm not grinding, folks. I was watching Monday Night Football. I was watching some Hornets Thunder preseason.
That's disgusting.
Getting you some Josh Giddey, some Pokuševski takes.
You've got a problem.
Getting you some Kai Jones. Grinding some film with some little Miles Bridges.
Who's your Peyton Pritchard of this year? Who's your your second round gem? He went second round, right?
I think he went into the first, actually. I think he went like 30th.
Either way, he feels like a second rounder.
I'm trying to think. I'm so far removed.
Who's gonna like actually get playing time?
I don't know.
Iota Sumo?
Maybe. Fuck, I don't know.
Right
they got a lot of guards and wings.
Yeah, they do.
I don't think he's going to get a lot of tech.
So did Boston, though.
I hate to say it. Yeah, they had a lot of injuries.
That's what I'm saying. Shit happens.
Yeah.
We'll have some basketball content out there. We'll probably do a preseason, maybe do some win totals, make our picks.
Yeah, we'll spew some hot takes.
Yeah, I love spewing hot takes about basketball at you and having your reaction.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I know you have a ranking of your players. We're going to do top 50 all time.
So the NBA is doing their official top 75 of all time this month. So we should probably get on that. And I don't know what we'll do because I've put time and thought into it, and like you doing 75
folks,
off the top of your head.
A lot of time.
I've put a lot of time, years and spreadsheets, and it's a lot.
Data transferring from Basketball Reference.
It's a whole
you have some
fucking
metrics.
thing. So I don't know what we'll do, but we will do some rankings of some NBA players at some point in some fashion.
Ranking some shit, our favorite
Ranking
segment.
some shit.
Also,
there's nothing better in sports media content than just
spewing
some
shit, ranking some stuff.
Say the names I like and put them in an order, and I'll argue with you about it. Fuck, it's
I don't like your order of that.
No.
I
think Teddy Bridgewater is better than Jimmy
That's what the
Garoppolo.
entire college football season is.
Yeah.
I don't think you should have that number next to your name.
Yeah, no. Hey, it doesn't matter. There's only 3 teams that can win. It doesn't matter what your team's
I think
ranked.
there's only 2 teams that can win in college football.
Yeah, this year
Who are you going to say third?
I'm just saying in general, most
yeah,
seasons, there's 3 teams that can win.
Yeah.
There's 2 SEC teams in Ohio State. Pretty much in any, well, I guess Clemson. But
yeah.
That's
also,
it.
for the ladies out there, I think we're still going to do, if you're
we're
down.
in talks to do a bachelor pod.
Bachelorette.
Whatever it is.
Whatever's coming up at the end of October.
ABC reality television show where the people try to date the person.
If there's one thing that I know about, it's about
scummy reality television.
I was going to say Fine and Love,
yeah.
but also garbage television. So that should be really fun. We're going to have our friend Bobby Ketro join us for that. Our resident expert on the topic. She's going to be our tour guide through. I've never watched the season myself. You've watched a few. So I'm ready to garbage TV it up.
I've watched a few episodes here and there. I understand sort of the general layout of how the show operates.
I get it. Don't get me wrong.
But I've never sat down and got invested, which I'm excited to do. I've never sat down and
I think that's the 18th. So we're going to need to do a cast preview show pretty shortly. So we'll talk to Bobby about that. We'll get that on the books. That should be hopefully really funny because I have honestly no idea really what to expect outside of the general framework of the show. So, stay tuned for that. I know we got a big female audience clamoring for more content that they can relate to.
Hey, all the people that see our stuff on social media and well, I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, I guess I'll like
Here's
it.
something maybe you give a shit about.
Think about it, ladies.
Maybe.
2 guys, experts on love, breaking it down for you. You're welcome.
Yeah, we're going to become fans of The Bachelorette and Bachelor. Maybe you'll become fans of sports. Probably not, but
goes hand in hand.
Here's the thing. The best reality TV show in the world, professional sports.
True. It's exactly what it is.
No better reality TV show in the world.
You want drama? I got it. Just a thought.
And it's on 365 days a year, baby.
Every day. No sleep. Yeah, we've gone on long enough. We had 2 podcasts in one here.
Hope you liked it. Hope you liked the movie talk. Hope you liked the football talk as always, doing what we do.
Talked a little baseball. Maybe we'll do a little separate pod talking about some playoffs. But other than that,
talked a little hardball, a little bat and ball.
Stay tuned. We're cranking out content. That's what we do. We're a machine. We're a churning
We do this
machine.
For you.
We do it
and for our own egos.
Yeah.
Mostly that, but
we
also
just sit around
you.
and do this anyway, so you might as well let like 15 people listen to it too.
We're fucking podding for the love of the game, baby. And also to get really rich and famous.
Yeah. One day.
So, on that note, if you're into Halloween, go fuck yourself.
Grow up.
Get a new slant. Have an interesting personality. Find something else. So, Halloween people, fuck off.
Thanks for listening.
Everyone else, I love you. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time.